Coming up on the Rockbridge Report, is the theater at Kiln closing? Lexington Mayor Elrod is here to comment. Hello and welcome to the Rockbridge Report. I'm Lindsay Tatum. I'm joined today by reporter Scott Harrison.
Take number 3. The theater at Kiln is in trouble. Its finances are strained and it can't afford badly needed repairs. Things are so bad that the longtime summer venue could be welcoming its last audience on Saturday. It's a typical night at Kiln. The skies are clear and cows can be heard in the distance. On stage, the Knoxville-based band, the Black Lilies, is putting on a show for the crowd gathered in the theater's intimate Bulls setting. But there was something different about this recent show. It could be one of the 28-year-old theater's last. Theater Executive Director Tony Russell told the Rockbridge County Board of Supervisors Monday night that he will ask his board of directors to shut Kiln this weekend. If the board agrees, the theater will present its last show Saturday night.
It's a foregone conclusion we will have to close the Kiln because we have no funds.
The Kiln has gone dark before, most recently in 2005. Facing more troubles this year, it began a fundraising campaign in July. The goal was $100,000 by the end of September. The theater wants another $300,000 for repairs. A wooden stage light tower has rotted, the tent covering the rain stage leaks, one venue has flooded during heavy storms. The Kiln secured a $93,000 loan from the U.S. Department of Agriculture to upgrade its facilities. It also sought a combined $200,000 from Lexington and Rockbridge County over 3 years. Russell said that the Kiln attracts outsiders to its shows, making it a potential economic boost for both the city and the county. But so far, neither local government has made any promises. On Monday, Russell criticized local officials for not helping Kiln with some of the $400,000 earmarked for the Lexington and Rockbridge Tourism Board. But County Supervisor Rusty Ford, who also owns the land on which the theater sits, said local officials can't touch that money. Lexington City Manager John Ellestad bristles at Russell's claim that city and county officials aren't using their assets properly. Ellestad says giving Kiln the help Russell wants would be a huge commitment. And city officials, he says, haven't had time to make sure the money would be spent well.
You know, it could be a much greater regional asset than it is now, certainly. But to what extent?
Theater board member Rob Mish couldn't speak for the entire board, but he doubts any money will come from the city and county on such short notice. If that's the case, he anticipates the Kiln will close. For those who come to perform at the Kiln and audiences that see them, the place has special meaning.
This is just an experience that I would like for my 3-year-old daughter to kind of continue to experience with us, and for Lexington to lose that, it would be horrible.
Everywhere we go across the United States, we talk about the Kiln because it is an amazing place to be able to come and play music for people in a natural environment.
Many were caught off guard by Russell's warning that the theater will go dark and by his public criticism of local officials. If the theater board goes along with his recommendation to close, Kiln will return all the money it has raised and it will also give up the federal loan. The final decision will not be made until tomorrow morning when Kiln's board of directors will meet.
Take camera 2.
I'm joined here by Lexington Mayor Mimi Elrod. Mayor Elrod, thank you for joining us.
I'm happy to be here. Thank you
So
for inviting
first
me.
question. So what has prevented Lexington from putting forward this $100,000 that the Kiln Theater was asking?
Well, it's very interesting. The city has talked about this only a little bit. We had 2 representatives meet with the County Board of Supervisors, Bob Lira and City Manager John Ellestad, to talk about the situation. And then suddenly, before we could make any decision about giving the money, we heard through a letter from Tony Russell that Kiln was closing. So I wouldn't say that we did not fund them. We never made a decision about that.
Okay, so what was your reaction to Mr. Russell's letter?
Well, I was out of town when I got his letter, and my reaction was that I wrote him back and I said, I'm really sad that it's closing. It is an asset to the community. There are not many kind of theaters in anywhere that are like that, and I think it's sad to lose that because I think it's something that drew people in from out of the city to attend, and I think they had very interesting programming. I think the city's concern, and there were concerns that we might invest, and we really didn't have a lot of evidence about the return or about other ways in which they were going to raise money. I know they've raised $60,000, and it's just been a confluence of issues that we really weren't privy to, and that are a little bit confusing.
So would you like to see discussions continue with the theater if?
I would like to see, I can only speak on my own behalf, I can't speak on the part of City Council, but I'm sorry that we did not have a chance to discuss it and talk about it and talk with Mr. Russell about ways that they might raise money or what their long-term prospects would be before we just learned that they're closing. And I know the decision isn't really made until tomorrow morning, but we don't meet again until the 4th of October. And I'm not sure what the County Board of Supervisors did or told him or what he felt that they were saying.
Well, thank you, Mayor Elrod. That's all the time we have today.
Okay.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Back to you, Laura Lindsay.
Coming up, find out why some people's Halloween plans might have changed this year.
When you throw away money on wasted electricity, you're throwing away everything you could have bought with it. Saving energy saves you money. Learn more at energysavers.gov.
2 outs with a runner on first base. Now the big guy comes up to bat, hitting .342 with 92 RBIs and 36 homers.
Chill raw and prepared foods promptly. 1 in 6 Americans will get sick from food poisoning this year. Keep your family safer. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov.
"7,000 high school students drop out every school day. That's a line of desks, more than 4 miles long. We can keep students in school. Visit boostup.org and take the first step."
Welcome back. One of Rockbridge County's best-known October attractions was destroyed last spring. Just a few bricks are left of what was once a place of thrills and scares. Leigh Dannhauser has the story.
As Halloween draws closer, fall attractions are opening up in the Rockbridge area. But one of the most popular, Hall-O-Scream, will be missing.
Our big finale we used to do was around Halloween, and it was called Hall-O-Scream. We ran that for 10 years, and it became bigger and bigger and bigger.
The Haunted Monster Museum at Natural Bridge burnt down last April before the museum had opened for the season. Cline says he will survive the misfortune.
Not a huge loss because, you know, where I don't focus on one thing, I pick up the business somewhere else.
But he worries about its effect on the community.
They're going to be hurting from this, and of course, you know, there's really no event of this nature like that around here to go to. So I think a lot of folks are going to be missing out on that.
Joan Coffey has been going to Hall-O-Scream for years.
A lot of people went to it. It was always crowded. Every year that I went, it was always crowded.
Cline believes that Hall-O-Scream created a sense of community.
If you brought a can of food, you could get in for $2 off, and we were able to gather up, I don't know how many hundreds and hundreds of pounds for the local food bank.
I think people support that, and it helps people if you got a certain percentage off. I know we did it, and we took cans in and got a certain percentage off.
Cline says he might build something new at the ruins of the Haunted Monster Museum.
Now that the house is destroyed and it's gone, if I do rebuild something, it probably won't be another haunted house.
For now, locals will have to look elsewhere for the Halloween thrills. For the Rockbridge Report, I'm Leigh Dannhauser.
Those still looking for Cline's October thrills can go on the Lexington Ghost Tour up until Halloween. The Natural Bridge also offers a corn maze on the weekends. More information can be found on naturalbridgeva.com. Help is finally at hand for kids who have been sweating and shivering at Perry McClure Middle School in Buena Vista. 3 years after first asking for it, the city will get a $500,000 loan from the federal government to replace leaky steam pipes in the school. Governor Bob McDonnell held up the money for almost 2 years because of the city's well-publicized fiscal trouble. City officials have a guarantee from the contractor that the savings on the energy bill will pay off the loan. Work is expected to begin this winter. Now it's time for your 5-day weather forecast. As we go into the night, expect to see some scattered thunderstorms with temperatures around 59 degrees. Tomorrow, there's a 30% chance of scattered thunderstorms in the morning and afternoon with a high of 76 and a low of 52. But the weekend looks pleasant. Saturday will have a high of 70 and a low of 49 degrees with a few scattered clouds. Sunday will be mostly sunny with a high of 72 and a low of 49 degrees. As we go into the week, Monday is going to be partly cloudy with a high of 70 and a low of 49. Tuesday will have a high of 72 and a low of 52 with partly cloudy skies again. Stay tuned to find out who the new big cheese is in Lexington.
Every book is an adventure waiting to come to life. Visit new worlds. Encounter new friends. And discover the power of reading. Go to read.gov to read A Princess of Mars, the first novel to feature John Carter. A new world awaits. Read.
This is one amazing truffula tree. Can you imagine a place where these grow everywhere? Yes, it's called the forest, a magical place to enjoy with your family.
Ooh.
So discover the forest and explore all the wonder that's there. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you.
Thanks for staying with us. There's some new excitement for local foodies on Lexington's Main Street. Two popular shops, Cheese to You and Lexington Coffee Roasters, have put their refined taste together in one storefront. Melissa and Terry Shaw have ground and sold coffee locally for years. Meg Hall began selling handcrafted cheeses in 2009. The businesses moved in together in May. Since then, they've become a single stop for more and more shoppers. The store is open Tuesday through Saturday at 7 North Main. Tonight, congressional candidate Andy Schmuckler will be speaking at the Rockbridge County Regional Library at 7 p.m. This is Schmuckler's first time running for office. He is challenging 10-term Congressman Bob Goodlatte for Virginia's 6th District. Each year, Boxerwood Education Association welcomes the community to an afternoon of exploring its fields and trails. Last weekend, the 13th annual Fall Festival drew more than 750 children and adults. Some celebrated by pressing apples, others got in the fall spirit through a creative movement class. The Nature Center and Outdoor Garden features over 4,000 varieties of native vegetation. So while the Hailstone Dance Studio gave dance lessons, parents enjoyed what's left of the nice weather. Thanks so much for joining us. For more information, visit rockbridgereport.washingtonandlee.net. See you next time.
Every book is an adventure waiting to come to life. Visit new worlds. Encounter new friends. And discover the power of reading. Go to read.gov to read A Princess of Mars, the first novel to feature John Carter. A new world awaits.